All right, guys, welcome back to our newest episode of Who Let the Dogs Out. I'm Jill.
I'm Emily.
So, first off, I want to say I'm in my pajamas, and I told you to wear pajamas, and she didn't. So, she did not listen to the assignment tonight, but I'm going to move on from that.
I had to make a pit stop on my way here.
It's okay. All right, so I just want to say a quick thank you to those who have been watching our video. I didn't think we were actually going to pop off, but we popped off. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and you subscribe to our channel so you can get weekly updates of our videos and such.
It's funny that you say that because I told Ian last night how many views we had on our first one. And I was like, yeah, there's over 300 views on our first video. And he was like, what?
Which is crazy.
It's like
to
on
me.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Who knows? We might be famous one day.
I hope so. That would be cool.
Hold on. I have notes, people. Okay, I'm a little past 6:30. I'm not coherent.
Tonight we're going to be discussing whether or not what our views and what other people's views on addiction being a disease. Is addiction a disease?
Yes. I feel like it's a topic that likes to ruffle people's feathers, and I will fight a grown-ass man on my point of it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people question, is addiction a actual legitimate disease? And I did a poll on my socials, and I had 60% of people say they believe it's a disease, and then I had 40% say they do not believe it's a disease. So yeah, take it away. What do you think?
I personally think that addiction is a disease. The reason I think it's a disease, or that I believe that it's a disease, is I look at it in comparison to diabetes. Diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think that, or not think, but believe that diabetes is a disease. When you ask somebody whether or not addiction is a disease, I hear a lot of disagreement. I don't believe that we're born like, oh, this disease has been assigned to you, but we put ourselves in situations and consumed things that then developed into a disease. Similarly to diabetes. Yes, can you be born with diabetes? But yeah, your life choices, what you decide to feed your body with, whether it's sodies or just your overall lifestyle over years, you can develop diabetes. That doesn't make diabetes less of a disease. Doesn't make addiction less of a disease. So that's kind of where my brain goes when people try to argue addiction is not a disease. Well, what makes it any different than something like diabetes?
But I think people love to use addiction, like drug addiction, alcohol addiction. That isn't just that. Like, people are addicted to gambling, they're addicted to porn, they're addicted to sex, they're addicted to shopping. Mm-hmm. That is a legitimate addiction. But people like to do the well, you chose to do it, you tried it, or you did this, and that's why
you made yourself susceptible.
You put yourself in that situation. But I think, I truly believe that you're born with an addictive tendency.
Yeah. You almost just made me think of hoarding. Hoarding would be like a disease.
Yes. They want to make the show Hoarders for no reason.
Right.
It really is psychologically a disease of hoarding.
It all stems, I think, more so from a psychological standpoint.
Yes.
And I don't think it's fair when people, just look at addiction and they're like, nah, you did that to yourself. So why are we going to label it a disease? No, it is a disease.
I also like to note that I actually noticed when I was younger that there was addiction tendencies and things I did.
Mm-hmm.
I literally was obsessed with Pepto-Bismol. I had to take Pepto-Bismol, or if in my mind I didn't, I was going to throw up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was an addict. I wanted Pepto-Bismol all the time. And my mom was like, this isn't normal. But you know what I'm saying?
It's like a hyperfixation.
I didn't go take Pepto-Bismol to get fucked up.
No.
but
it
I
was like a
used it because it's like
hyperfixation.
hyperfixation. Your brain just, I don't
Mhm.
know. I personally believe it is a disease. And I'm going on the World Wide Web. And I know everyone's like, Amy, Google. Okay, but this
I'm
is
going on the World
from the
Wide Web.
National Institute on Drug Abuse. Okay, so this is from like real life stuff. It says brain changes. It is a brain disease because drugs alter the brain's reward, motivation, and memory circuits. Genetics account for roughly half of an individual's risk of addiction. Environmental factors, trauma, early exposure, similar to diabetes or heart disease, addiction is a chronic condition that can be managed but requires long term treatment and carries a high risk of relapse. Not a choice. While
Right.
the first time someone uses a substance may be a choice, the transition to addiction involves a loss of control, making continued use a compulsion rather than a voluntary decision.
I'm glad that you brought up heart disease because I was about to.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought about that, where in what I do for work, I see a lot of individuals that have some type of hypertension, cardiovascular, um, heart condition of some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
That's a disease.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. They could have, developed it just by chance, like a genetic disposition, like they're predisposed to heart disease because genetically.
Mm-hmm.
Could be from smoking, could be from drinking, could be from prolonged stress.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make it less of a disease. So I think that our, not necessarily our goal, but just like our thought process behind whether or not addiction is a disease and why we feel so strongly about it being a disease
Mm-hmm.
is because like the stigma that is still around it, and people that are in recovery or trying to recover constantly having people tell them like, sorry, you ended up here because you put
Mm-hmm.
yourself here, we shouldn't feel sorry for you. Well, that's not.
And I look at it this way. So me and my sister, we're siblings. We share the same mother and father. And this is where like genetics and stuff come in. It's weird. Because like your sibling can be born with blue eyes and you have green eyes, right?
Mhm.
So you're not always the same, but we have the same mom and dad, okay? My sister tried alcohol. She's not an alcoholic. She tried alcohol around the same time I tried alcohol.
Mhm.
I became an alcoholic.
And she didn't.
And she didn't. We both made the same choice, correct?
Mhm.
How many people go out there at 21 years old and drink?
Mhm.
Hello? There's some people who make it out fine and can go for a martini, and then there's some people who end up on a fucking bender and in jail.
Yeah,
like
for years.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I don't think that, especially when you start
I'm sorry, these earbuds keep falling out because I think I literally have the waxiest ears. I'm sorry if I keep playing with them. It's just so annoying.
Lubricated.
They're very lubricated.
Oh, I just lost my train of thought.
But hereditary too. It was saying genetics. So like you were saying your grandparents suffered with alcoholism. My grandfather, my Jaji, was a very bad alcoholic. He did AA. He was a sponsor. Like he was very into AA, NA, and all that. It skipped us. Like it skipped our parents and then came to us.
Yeah.
They always say it skips a generation. So that's another thing it says. It's genetics. It's like hereditary. Is that the fancy word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think so.
It's hereditary. But I asked people on social media and I'm like, oh, I want you to tell me why you think it's not one. Just because I love to like stir the fucking pot.
Mm-hmm.
I screenshotted, and I'm not gonna say who said it because I'm not gonna air your dirty laundry out there. But it was surprising who I thought it was. That was the surprising part. So I was like, I don't know about that one. So this person said, I don't believe addiction is a disease in the way that it's talked about and oversimplified. I don't think addiction is inherited. You aren't born with a gene that automatically makes you an addict. Genes do play a role, but to simply it as a disease just genetics is so oversimplified. Genes make us vulnerable to certain predispositions that don't automatically mean we are doomed with a disease. Addiction is a symptom to pain and suffer. It's a coping mechanism. So actually, I'm going to correct this person on this. Like you've said, your mother or father has, like, it's in their family tree that heart disease is like a common thing, let's say. Okay. So technically, yeah, it's hereditary. Like that, this person didn't really make any sense with what they just said.
And what else did people say?
Here's one point that I've read before. During the Vietnam War, many U.S. soldiers used heroin, yet most were not addicted when they returned home. Bull fucking shit. Research show that despite heavy use overseas, the majority stopped without treatment after leaving the stressful war environment. That's because heroin couldn't be bought on the streets back in fucking Vietnam.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you that's a lie, because the biggest number of veterans that I work with are Vietnam era.
There you go.
And I will tell you that I have met more addicts and Vietnam era veterans, probably because I just deal with that group more so than the younger vets.
Yes.
Drug abuse and use is absolutely, it's more common than it's not. Like, the conversations that I have with people, at least 2 or 3 people a day, I would say, I'm talking about their claims process, but also I'm a talker.
Like, what got them there though? Like, what's the reasoning for the claim? Like,
a lot of the time, it's mental health.
It's mental health.
A mental health associated with substance abuse disorder. Whether it's alcohol or cocaine or heroin or all of the things. And even when I used to work in a dispensary, I was always talking to people. A lot of people would come into the dispensary that are in recovery looking to, buy weed. And there was one guy that really stood out to me that was at one point in his life on 7 different opiates.
That's insane.
7 different opiates. He is still on one.
Okay.
Because like his chronic pain is that bad. But with using medical marijuana, he was able to go from 7 different opiates to 1.
I love that. Yeah, that's awesome.
And he was like, I'm an addict. Like, I'm addicted to these drugs. I think about my grandmother. My grandmother, the last, I would say like 10 or 15 years of her life, she was on so many different pain medications. She was an addict.
Yeah, because your doctor is a drug dealer.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Oh, let's make it comfortable for them. Let's make their last years comfy, cozy. You want to know what would be comfy and cozy for me? Fucking take me out.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit there all fucked up on a bunch of drugs, just waiting for my day, just like, I think that's so sad when they do that.
So listen, I'm reading more of what this person said, and I just want to laugh. Okay, you ready? Oh. Labeling addiction a disease can be argued that is only classified that way to increase funding, makes it easier for insurance companies to cover treatment, meaning more hospitals and rehab centers get paid for their service. No. State and local governments combined speed on average $90 billion a year on addiction treatment and services. If addiction was not a disease, that funding would shrink very quickly. Okay, I just want to add something. When I went to rehab, okay, yes, my insurance covered a lot of it. You had to be detoxed. Like, you couldn't be, let's say, a week sober and be like, I want to go to rehab. Like, you literally had to be in addiction and then go to rehab. Like,
there's not enough.
Like, dude,
services.
There's not enough services.
No.
And $90 billion is not going to just addiction treatment centers. I don't know where the fuck that number came from. Do I believe that there's probably that amount of money? Yes.
It's a lot of money,
but still not enough. We're not doing anything for these people half the time. If that was the case, we wouldn't have the fucking streets flooded with fentanyl users or heroin users,
know.
or you know what I mean? Like
I was
state funded facilities that can't get anybody clean.
no, because their treatment is not effective. They're doing the
Yes.
minimum, and
Mm-hmm.
that's my issue with the healthcare system is the bare minimum. Well, what about quality of care? What about continuity of care?
Yes.
Why do people max out on care? Like when you're looking at your health, overall health, I'm not just talking about getting sober, staying sober, but your overall health, the support that you need from all aspects of your physical health, your mental health, and just everything. The programs that they have, like, okay, yeah, they're throwing money into all of these things, but okay, is that money being wasted because it's not effective? What can we do to better the programs that exist so that when people are going to these treatments, they're effective and they have the tools to be able to stay sober? Because yeah, we got sober and
Yes.
we've been able to stay sober, but that's just you and I. It's not like that for every single person.
No.
And I'm glad that I didn't have to lose everything in my life or for a death or a crazy accident to happen to wake me up. It was a bunch of close calls to stuff like that. But there's people that have lost everything. So it's like when you think of where does your mental health go when you completely lose everything? Like I couldn't even imagine trying to get sober at a point in my life where, like, if I was homeless or if I didn't have a job or if I didn't have anything to live for. And those are the people that I think
Yes.
about in their like recovery process. Are they going to treatment repeatedly? Yes. Are they unsuccessful? Probably, because they don't have the support once they are out of the treatment to continue that. It's easy to get sober. It's hard to stay sober. And that's, again, to circle back where it's a disease. Like anybody that you talk to that relapses is never going to be like, oh, you know,
I don't have the disease anymore.
I'm really happy that I relapsed. No, they're going to be pissed. They're going to be embarrassed. They're going to beat themselves up more than anybody around them is going to beat them up. And
so I also have a point.
Just,
I'm going to throw myself under the fucking boozy bus. Okay.
Boozy
so
bus. I like
boozy
that.
bus.
Boozy bus.
So I'm 9 years sober. Okay. But in those 9 years of being sober, I picked up other addictions, that being caffeine. I was a little gambler, loved a good fucking slot machine. That's an addiction. That is a disease. Shopping is an addiction. So it's not just drugs and alcohol.
It's easy.
And people want to say, oh,
put yourself
you
there.
You can't say that drugs and alcohol is a disease, but we can say this other stuff is a disease. It just doesn't make sense. I have such a hard time debating this because I can never put the words how I want them to. I'm like I don't make sense. But all I want to say is it's a disease. Okay, call your fucking doctor and ask, and they'll be like, yep, it's here in the textbooks, people.
Yeah.
And I get it. You have your point of view, and that is fine. And that's why I'm trying to like have both sides of the coin, I guess. But I think just people don't want to say it's a disease because they just don't. They almost just want to shit on you.
Well, I think it's also easy for people to be like, no, it's not a disease because they don't experience it. Because I took a class, one of my classes that I just finished up.
Okay.
About like cultural awareness, and I've noticed things about myself, like in taking that class, where like you can feel a certain way about a certain thing or topic or view, and you can grow from that. So like, had you asked me back when I was 21 or 22, do I think addiction is a disease? I don't know, because I was always drunk and fucked up. I can't remember. I'm going to be quite honest with you.
I feel you on that too. That I don't know if I was in, when I was in addiction, did I think it was a disease until I got sober?
So I look at it that way, where it's like, okay, if you feel like it's not, then maybe you just haven't walked that path and you haven't experienced that, and that's good. I don't want you to have to walk that path and understand that and feel that or believe that. So then I I think that just us talking about it, maybe if you have a group of 10 people that all said, no, I do not believe addiction is a disease, maybe after talking to us, they'd be like, I really hardcore felt like I didn't think that that was a disease. But now when you guys express it and go hard, they're like, maybe it is. And maybe they're a little bit more receptive to the information and like the thought process that we have.
Yeah.
And that was like a big thing of the class, cultural something, I can't remember the full name of it. It's just being mindful of like somebody else's view on things, where you could sit here and you can debate somebody and you can have a tough conversation and not necessarily agree with them fully, but understanding that, okay, they got there and they feel like this and they believe this because of their cultural surroundings, how they were raised, what they've experienced, what they've been through.
Mhm.
And I can appreciate that, other people might have views like on certain things that I might not agree with, but I want to hear them out. And like, okay, how did you get there? It's like me, my political views.
Yes, and I'm not getting into politics because
No.
my mom was like, "Don't you ever bring politics onto your podcast." She was the opposite side of the party for a long fucking time. And then all of a sudden she comes to my house and she's like, la, 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 la. Like, wait a second, weren't you just supporting this like 2 weeks ago? She goes, yes, but I'm seeing it. I'm hearing it out and I'm learning so much, and I don't feel that way anymore. And for somebody who's like one political party and then jumps to the other one, like that's a huge jump. So she was able to, look past some of her confidence and go to the other party. I was like, holy fuck, there's no way. You?
Me? I know. I look back and I'm just like, there's things that I still feel a certain type of way about, but overall, I'm just like, wow. And then like I tell people that I'm like, hey, like you can feel some way about something one day and you might have like a
feeling
moment of like, wow, okay, you know what? I don't know if I don't think I agree with that very much. So that was.
I think I used to go really hard into it. Like, is addiction a disease all the time on social media? I would be like fighting with people's fucking moms, like, fuck you stupid fucking bitch. And now I'm like, I'm so exhausted in explaining it that I'm like my side and why I firmly believe in it. That I just don't waste my fucking time. But there's some people I'm really fucking shocked about.
I don't mean to jump around, but I forgot to mention before when we were talking about this, just not having enough resources to like for people to be able to maintain their sobriety. And then like, oh, we put all this money in. Don't you want to put money into people getting sober? Don't you want to create a better society moving forward? I'm tired. I'm so tired of America glorifying alcohol. Not just America, the world. Alcohol is just glorified everywhere.
It's so disgusting.
It's literally like pouring gasoline into your body.
Yes.
Literally like pouring gasoline into your body. You don't need alcohol to have fun. If you can have a drink or 2 or 3 and be like, you know what, that's good. I'm glad. Awesome for you. That's cool. But also, what are the long-term effects of that? What if you're just a 2 beer drinker? You don't have the addiction. You're able to have a drink here and there.
Yeah, but what if they have those 2 drinks and then their friend fucking brings out a ski bump? Well, and then they take the ski bump, and now they're into cocaine.
But what I was thinking is, you have 2 beers every other day for, let's say, 65 years.
Your liver's shot.
But you're not an alcoholic because, I only had 2 beers every other day, but for 65 years you did that, and now guess what? You have cirrhosis of the liver. Oh, no way, is that a disease? But I thought they were an addict, so it's not a disease, right? Oh, but the cirrhosis is. The cirrhosis of the liver is a disease. How did we get here? I don't know. Must have been from my fatty liver. Why do you have a fatty liver? Maybe it was the Oreos that I ate. No, it was probably a combination of all the things. Yeah. And so I had a guy call my office a couple months ago, And I was probably on the phone with him for like an hour. And he was looking for, his son is a veteran, and he's looking for help, navigation of any sort of whatever. And he was really worried about his son getting money because he's just going to go and blow it. He's like, I'm really, really nervous about helping him with this because I know that as soon as he gets that money, it's tax free, money in your account on the first of the month, every month, he's going to go out and he's going to blow it. And he goes, and I don't necessarily want him to have the money because I don't want him to die.
Ugh.
And I was like, what do you mean you don't want him to die? And he's like, my son is an addict. And I was just like, okay, I get it. And he's like, he starts crying on the phone with me. And he's like, me and my wife have put my son through so many different rehab programs, state facilities, veteran programs. And that's the thing. I work within the VA, and I'm going to be honest with you. You get a certain amount of days in a treatment facility to try and get sober, and then they're throwing you right back out on the streets into the same, situation that you were before. And I actually told this guy, I said, I'm going to give you some information for a rehab facility that my best friend went to. It's in Kent, Connecticut, High Watch. And I said, she loved this program. It's not cheap. Maybe if he has insurance of some sort, it'll, help. But I'm going to tell you, maybe this is something for him to try. And I never heard back from him, but I do think about him sometimes because I'm like, I always wonder, did this guy ever, get
That's
his
so
son?
sad though.
Yeah. And I see
it's
it.
like you want your kid to get the money because they deserve it.
Yeah.
But then you're afraid of your kid getting the money because you just know they're going to go kill themselves with it, with doing drugs. It's so fucking sad.
And then like
I hope he made it to High Watch because it's fucking awesome there.
We're about to go down the veterans rabbit hole with like the whole addiction and mental health aspect, because that's the biggest thing that I see. Is I was 26. I was 26 when I got out. And why I was on so many different medications, I see this happen to a lot of, speaking of, I'm back on my meds. For my mental health.
Many people have asked me after her episode, like, why did she come off her Zoloft? Does she know that's like not okay? I'm like, wait a second, guys, she's back on.
Yeah.
She's back on the Zoloft.
I took a little raw dog break off of my Zoloft because at the time it was effective because it was. I also think I was on a little bit too high of a dose, so like I was just feeling nothing, not a goddamn thing, and I was at a point in my life where like the whole relationship and all that drama, I needed to feel.
Yeah, you do. And it's hard.
Like it was effective. Like I didn't want to, but I also wasn't able to process all of the things. And I wasn't able, like, it was tough because I came down off of it slowly. My doctor knew that I was tapering off of it, but I probably cried on my way to work and from work for a solid 4 or 5 months.
Because you were feeling every emotion.
Yeah. And it's not like I was mourning a huge piece of my life. Like,
yeah.
And then I realized that I'm an anxious gal, very anxious gal. And being on Zoloft is pretty effective. So if I want to remain a productive member of society and not like jump out of a window from my job because some days it's hard, then we're going to take the Zoloft and we're just going to be, we're going to be good.
You could tell a huge difference too, like when you, as a person, like come off medication. Because I take Zoloft and I agree with you. You can't squeeze a fucking tear out of me. But then I watch a random ass video and I start bawling.
Squeeze a tear?
You cannot. You can tell me your fucking dog died and be like, ooh, that sucks. You tell me the most traumatic story. I'm like, ooh, I'm not going to give you a hug. And I'm not like that. because I'm like one of, and I say this about myself, I'm one of like the most caring people. I will give the shirt off my back for you, but I just have no fucking emotions at all. And I feel like a cunt,
No.
but I'm not. It's
You're
just
not.
the Zoloft speaking.
It's just
but
the
it's either
Zoloft.
like you take the Zoloft and you're a cunt, or you don't take it and you cry every single day. And I'm like a snappy person. Like if I'm emotional, I'm like, oh, I want to cut your throat.
I'm snappy.
And I think like at work, it's definitely necessary for me because like I work with kids. So
I'm a snappy person.
I need the patience when it comes to children.
I had a really long day at work one day, and everything pissed me off. Like the door was locked, and my mom wasn't walking up to the door fast enough, and I'm like, I locked the fucking door. I gotta go inside.
Yeah, like you
And
the
then I was
person in
like,
front of you is not going fast enough, and you're like, fuck you.
I know. I was like, oh. And then I got in the house, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go take a shit. And did that, and then I was like, I'm so sorry about that, Mom. Like I was just like, I had a really long day. And then I'm like, I sit there and think about it all night. I'm like, wow, I was just a bitch for no reason.
Yeah, and then my mom's big on like, you're being so mean today, and I'll be like, oh man, I forgot to, I don't know, take my dose. Stop using that as an excuse, Jillian.
Well,
You're just being mean. Mind you, I'm
it-
not even being mean to her.
it
She's just
levels
fucking
me
sad all the
out.
time.
Sorry, my brain is chemically imbalanced right now.
So chemically imbalanced.
It's like when your pussy's unbalanced, it stinks. When your brain's unbalanced,
your pH balance is off the charts. It's bad. What is it called? Monostat? Isn't that what it is? Or is that for yeast infections? I don't know.
Metronidazole.
Oh, I've never used it. There's definitely been some bad pH days. Those spandex leggings. Fuck that. What?
Oh my god, that's funny. So
it's true though. Addiction's a fucking disease.
By the end of this video, everyone's gonna be like, okay, gosh, guys, we believe you.
No, but I said, like I wanted people to tell me why they thought it wasn't, so I can just say to you on this podcast, thank you for telling your side of the story. I just don't agree with you, but thank you for sharing that information with us. We respect it.
Yeah, because it gives us argument to make, and this is effective argument in communication and sharing our views. And we appreciate when people interact with like the things that we post, because then, I mean, we would have just been like, hello, welcome to our podcast. Do you think addiction is a disease? Yes, no, maybe so. And we wouldn't have anything to really, compare it to. And it's also nice to see like other people's outlooks on things, because maybe if you, felt a certain type of way, you might feel a different way after hearing our view on things.
And don't not watch our videos anymore because we think it's a disease. Like we're still cool.
We're still cool.
We just think it's a disease.
And
sorry. Also,
I just want
I was saying to Josh, I was like, viewers out there, you should comment down below if you think it's a disease or not, but don't fight with each other because I don't have room for that drama.
I'm dead.
I was like, fight about it in the comments.
Fight about it.
Go for Karen. No, but I do want to say that there were some people that commented on one of our videos, and I was like, wait a second. People are actually commenting. And it was a guy asking me how big of a dump I took after I got sober. Like, what was my biggest, I don't know, shit. And I will tell you. Can't tell you because every single day I'm full of it.
Wait a second.
I will put, so I'm gonna one day we're gonna, people comment, ask us questions and stuff, because there's gonna be a video one day where I'm gonna pull up all the comments and all of the questions, and we're just gonna answer them. And when you troll me like that, I love it.
I think that the guy probably asked that because if you think about extended opiate use, you get super constipated. So he was probably like, yo, what was it like getting sober and being able to take a...
No, because when you're on so much fucking coke, all you want to do is shit your brains out.
Well, yeah, but opposite. So
yeah, true, because yeah.
That,
I don't know, I wasn't
no, because we were stimulants.
Well, I didn't start off that way, actually.
No, neither did I.
I was a Xanny bar queen.
I actually, you want to know what's funny? Yesterday at work, my coworker has been out for a little while, so I was a chatty Cathy, and I was like, chatting his ear off. And I was like, yeah, like recovery is tough. Alcohol obviously being the primary. And I was like, and I was a co-kid. And he looked at me and was like, who the fuck did we hire? I was like, I'm so sorry. I just
But you want to know what? So
gives me depth.
I'm not gonna say like what exactly like what I do for a living or where I work at all. But I have coworkers and they're like a lot older than me. I'm probably like one of the youngest, and everybody
Same.
knows I'm in recovery. And that's the first thing I'll tell you. I'll be like, because you know when people are like, oh, do you want to go out for drinks after work? And you don't know how to say to them like, oh, I'm sober.
I'm sober.
So what I
don't
do
drink.
is I'm like,
I
hi,
do drugs when I
my
drink.
name is Jill, and I just want to let everybody know that I'm sober.
Don't ask me to go out to drinks.
I will go out with you and have a mocktail. I love watching people get fucking hammered, but I want people to know before they ask me because then I feel awkward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like everybody at work knows. So it's funny because
I'm not getting hammered
I
with you
will
on
make
Friday
a
and
couple
making out in
like
the bathroom.
I will make a couple like funny jokes here and there. But it's just like people are like, I actually had like people watch my podcast from work and they were like, wow, it was actually like very inspirational. And they had like questions. I was like, wait, you people are watching me? That's fucking sick.
No, I like that.
It's like I don't know how to explain it. Like it's like cool that people are actually like interacting and interested in it. And it's not like, oh, I just work with Jill and I feel like I have to watch it. And they're like, no, I have like a better idea of like how hard it was for you or like how hard it was for your friend. And I like this person also said she loved how you and I had such different recovery paths, but we're both sober. Like she was like with the California sober thing. And she asked me, she's like, well, what do you think about pot and recovery? Like, what is your outlook on it? And I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Just not
She's
yours.
still sober.
Yeah, it's just not yours.
It's not my cup of tea, but Demi Lovato did it.
You love Demi Lovato.
I fucking love Demi Lovato so much.
Demi, you want to come on our
Would give your heart a break. Wait,
let me give your heart a break.
There's another one I really like. I just love Demi Lovato so much. Oh my god!
And it's easy for a lot of people to just be like, oh, she's just another drug addict. How did she get there? She was exploited as a child, and we're gonna hate on her for that.
Oh, she was, and she was like, she was like sexually assaulted and stuff, and then she had like somebody actually like
her song 29.
R.A.P.E. her, like a friend or something.
Her song 29. Talking about when she was 17 and she was dating like a 30-plus-year-old, and she's like, I'm 29, I'm still not even the age you were when I met you.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yes. This I forget.
I like her song.
Who she dated for a really long time when she was young.
I'm so sorry. I'm not sober anymore.
That's a really hard song. Demi Lovato, the song 29. She's talking about she was 17, he was 29.
That's disgusting.
Funny. Finally, I'm 29, funny just like you were at the time. That song came out, and like I remember listening to it, and I was still dating you know who. And their 14-year age gap, because I was fucked up. And I thought that was appropriate. Listening to that song, there's a couple songs that people have written in regards to like them being taken advantage of like as a teenager and like where their life is, and her turning 29, how that was like such an eye-opening experience, because she's like, oh my gosh, I'm the age he was when he met me, and I could not imagine talking to
that's
let alone having
crazy.
A full-blown sexual relationship with a 17-year-old. And that's how I started to feel. The closer I got
to that age,
to the age that he was when I met him, I would be like,
but I think you and I have come to terms that you were groomed by this person because you were so young that he was like, I don't know, it should just be a fucking documentary about that guy. He's a fucking loser. No, but you were groomed. Like, you're young, like, and you're like, ooh, I'm dating an older guy and he's successful and this, and you're like, no, you're actually low-key a fucking pedophile, bro.
Pedo.
Would you let your child
that's
date
where I had an issue.
somebody at that age. Like,
So
you think that's okay?
as their child started getting older, 14, 15, 16 years old, I'm like, the age difference between him and I is the same
So,
between the child and I.
What was
And
the?
I'm like, so in 3 years, you're telling me, or 4 years, you're telling me that one of my girlfriends could be banging your son, and that's appropriate?
Yeah. So how old?
Dude.
We're like totally getting off the wagon, but I'm curious. So, how old were you when you met him, and how old was he?
I was 19 and he was 33.
Yikes.
That's disgusting. And not to say that like age gap couples don't work out. I don't think it's appropriate with that age difference at that time. Had I been 29 and he were 43, I've lived some life. I think that would be a different situation. I do not like.
She's like, I'm 20. I was 29 and 30. He was 75. Had to take a Viagra. No big deal.
No.
Now you're like, you're in geriatric age now, buddy.
Yeah, no. And I don't know, I just think of how many other
people,
not even just women, because I'm gonna
okay.
be honest,
Do you think Justin Bieber? Like, I really think that
I
what
think
was his name?
Diddy
was diddling Bieber
him.
fever.
Yep. And why do you
And
think
I
Bieber
love
was
him.
drinking? He was boozing. He was drugging.
Recently, he had cocaine dust on his dick when he was at the Jenner's house having a party. He gets out the car, dude, wearing all black with a fucking cocaine stain on his penis.
What if he put it on it and
yeah,
then
and was
like,
railing a line off of it with some girl? I don't know. I don't know. But they were like, Bieber got wild at the Jenner's house. And I was like, poor Bieber.
He was boobing. He was boobing. He was boozing. He was drugging, or is. I don't know if he still is or isn't.
I don't think he's doing too hot, but I think Diddy was
tattoos,
diddling.
all the tattoos.
Oh my God, he is so cute. I will tell you, I thought, okay, do you remember the One Last Lonely Girl? I thought that I was going to be the one last lonely girl, and she had like a short haircut. So I went and cut my hair short in hopes that I would fall. Justin Bieber was going to fall in love with me.
Well, he did fall in love with
the
a fan.
buck-toothed Beaver girl from Southington. I was going to be it.
I had a really big crush on Aaron Carter.
Ew. See, I wasn't. I liked Lance Bass, and he's gay as fuck now. Candy in the morning time. So tell me if that's now that's not appropriate. I want candy in the morning time, candy in the hot sunshine. How old was he? Like 13 singing that?
13, yeah.
All I want is your candy. Exactly.
And wonder why we all turned out fucked up.
That and the Teletubbies. All right,
Teletubbies were definitely doing drugs. All right, so we're going to wrap it up.
We got so off topic, but I love that about us because it probably spiced it up a little bit.
Well, because if we just ended on like, hey guys, you think addiction is a disease? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, thank you and good night. So thank you for tuning into our podcast. And good night. I'm kidding. Take it away.
Clock it.
Bye, guys.